Alright, what is up? This is Terminator Juice. And this is a OBS recording, not a live stream. And currently there's some doubles pro play going on, but a couple matches coming up with teams I don't really follow. So I'm going to try to make a quick little tips video, and basically to set it up, I started looking at tip videos and stuff when I was about 220 hours into Rocket League on the Switch, and I can't remember if I had the PC version or not at that point. I think I might have had it for a couple weeks. So I found this YouTuber Sunless. He's got a Why You Suck at Rocket League series I highly recommend checking out. And in that there was a how to set up training, good training. And it was a good video, but it has you working on 12 different things every time you train. And I tried that and it just doesn't work for me, so maybe it doesn't work for you. And the things I've learned I'm going to pass on to you guys. And what made me think of this was Little Cray and I were playing, and he said he started some training. And so this is maybe my learning the hard way. It can help someone like him or anyone that wants to get better. So when I started training, seriously, I hadn't even attempted to dribble the ball yet in Rocket League. So 220 hours in, haven't even attempted to dribble the ball. So one of the first things I would suggest is just focusing on dribbling. And that's, I forgot to point out, the thing I learned the most is not to try to do 12 new skills at once. Pick one or two, maybe even three, and just focus on them until you can do them well. So that is my big tip to anyone. Don't just say, I gotta learn how to dribble, I gotta learn how to wall shots off the wall, I gotta learn how to backboard shots, I gotta learn how to do aerials. You can't learn all that at once unless maybe if you're young, under 20 years old, maybe you can learn all that at once. But for me, I had to focus. So for dribbling, if you're not on PC, you can try this code right here. That's one I've created. If you're on Switch, there's a chance that this code will lead you to what is it called? A corrupted file. I know a lot of these custom trainings don't work anymore on Switch, which I'm going to make a video and send to Tag Psyonix on Twitter and try to figure it out. Here's another dribble flick playground. But these are all good, well and good. But honestly, and let me delete this one. Go to the create one, and this is a tip. Just say whatever you want. Dribble test, no, you don't have to upload this. This is just a good way. So you start with one shot, follow the button prompt on the system you have. You go into the shot using A, take all the steam off the ball so it just sits there. So what you do, hit A, place your car, use the left trigger to lower your car, reduce the time to 1 second, and test shot. So now, forgot to turn the ball cam off. That is one of the biggest things you involved with dribbling, is taking the ball cam off. So now I can just sit here and say, okay, I got the hang of this. You just keep hitting the R bumper, and you're like, okay, this is too easy. So edit shot, move the car back, move the ball. I mean, you can put the timer at 2 seconds if you feel like it's too short. So now anytime the ball hits the ground, you'll get a fail. So you'll know that you're no longer dribbling the ball. So you could just do this one and say, all right, I want to drive around and see how long I can dribble, because as soon as it hits the ground, it starts over. Or you could create multiple ones. So that's your easy one. Now make one harder. Put it at midfield. Same thing, set the timer. Test it. Now you gotta go further distance. Again, you don't have to just go straight at it. And I'm sorry if you're on Switch. This is way harder because no analog trigger. But you'll be able to get decent at it on Switch like I did, and then if you eventually play it on another system with analog triggers, you'll be really good. So there's my medium one. Now we'll go goal to goal. Actually, let's go farthest amount possible. Put the timer. 2 seconds. Test shot. Now you're gonna really test yourself. Do a little flick at the end, which I messed up, but I can just sit here and hit R. And if it hits the wall, it doesn't count, or it doesn't end until it hits the ground. So use your boost to get under it, get ahead of it to slow it down, use your brake. Ooh, missed it. But you see, you get the point. You know, you don't have to do anything fancy. Just create these and then save and exit. You can go all out, you can create 20 shots. But in the beginning, I would just create a couple. So now, if I go to my created, it's not uploaded. I can hit A to play, X to edit. You know, I'm on Xbox controller, but I can just run through these. And, you know, like I said, you can make it as easy or as hard as you want to. You can just hit it in. But in the beginning, if you're new to dribbling, just perfect the straight stuff and then maybe try some of the other ones. So dribbling is a nice skill to have. You're not going to sit here and do this in a game unless you're playing one-on-one, ones as they say. But what it does help you do, it helps you with car control. And let's say, you know, the ball, you're not so good at turning. The ball hits the wall. Now you can practice judging the ball off the wall, you know, so keeping a dribble going that way. See if I can get it a little bit harder into the wall. Okay, turn the ball cam off, get acclimated, turn it back, or turn the ball cam back on to get recentered, then turn it off and practice, you know, having the ball land on your car from high up. And it's good practice. So in the match, in a real match, it's a threes match, I've utilized skills from dribbling. I've turned off the ball cam before to get a couple different goals when the ball was hit high. And helps me with, you know, playing balls off the wall. One thing I noticed going back to casual play with Clocked It the other night is, and still even in Plat 1, people just, as soon as they see the ball, they hit it. They hit it to clear it. And then with dribbling practice, you're going to learn to just stop the ball and just keep it in front of you. You don't have to knock it into the other side every time. So that's a good tip. Not a lot of people, I haven't seen anyone else saying, hey, go to the create custom training, create your own, and just set it up how you want. And you could just go in there all day and practice it. Never upload this. You don't have to. You could try the ones I did. one I made and this other one that Whey Protein made. So just dribble. That's great for car control, great for ball control. And then for me, the other most important thing when I got up to platinum and gold 3s, I noticed everybody's hitting the ball in the air. So how did I get better at aerials? I was already doing, this kind of training, and I was already kind of getting all right at hitting the ball, just keep my car in line and stuff. These balls don't move on rookie, but what really elevated my training was practicing this, flying backwards and hitting the ball. Again, not something you're gonna run into a lot, but one of the side benefits is just suddenly I notice I'm turning the right way when I'm going up the wall. When my car's like the camera, see how the camera's underneath my car? That's basically the same as flying backwards. So it really just helped me adjust my muscle memory to turn in the opposite way in certain situations. And I probably should get to the basics here of turning your car, because I know there's probably people who don't use the air. What's it officially called? Power slide, air roll. Okay, I have those set to left bumper or L on Switch, be L1 on PS4. You just want air roll to be a button that you can hit and boost at the same time. So you could have it be Y or X on the Switch controller, triangle on PS4, and you can still boost, but I like to be able to jump and boost with my A and B, and I can air roll and power slide with my left bumper. It's I would highly recommend switching. And if you might have 300 hours in the game, it's going to take you about 40-50 hours to get used to that being moved. But if you're not using air roll and you want to rank up, you're not going to rank up. Period. You're going to get stuck unless someone carries you. The thing about air rolls, it helps you land properly and get your car facing the right way. So, getting back to this, the main point, teaching myself how to fly backwards had the side effect of greatly improving my aerials flying forward. I don't know why. Maybe some people it's going to mess you up. And I'll just be straight with you. I did this for a half hour before I could even hit the ball flying backwards. They call it blacking out. It's when your muscle memory and your brain's telling you to go hit right to go right. But when you're flying backwards, right makes you go left. Up. It's basically opposite. Up still makes you go up though. So that doesn't change. Just in a bit of a different way. So you're gonna struggle. You just gotta push through. You gotta use the air roll. And once I started doing that, then I was like, you know what? This sucks. I'm gonna go back to regular. Next thing I know, I was just amazing at hitting the ball all of a sudden. It was just like the greatest side effect ever of flying backwards was hitting the ball consistently, flying straight. So, it's just, I'm never got 100% on rookie. I've always got 90, but I know I could do it. So, you might be watching me and say, how does he launch so fast? That's one other thing I got to go over. But just, flying backwards was a huge help for me. Like I said, I would recommend becoming at least as adequate as I am at it, and it greatly improved my forward aerials. But just to talk about even getting into the air, and a lot of pro players and people that give tip videos. See how I boost and jump at the same time? It's called a boost jump. So while I'm pulling the control stick back, I hit boost and jump at the same time. And it greatly helps you get air, get in the air quicker. And then you do the second jump, you have to let off the stick. That's why you'll see me backflip a lot, because I haven't quite let off the stick before I'm pressing back again. And I'll go to the All-Star one to go over that a little bit more. So, oops. We'll go to All-Star aerial. So you gotta use the boost jump. Get that double jump. I got too high there. It does get you air way quicker, so you're gonna be flying over in the beginning. Use the little arrow to land. I mean, really, this is the best way to get used to the boost jump, though, is to use the All-Star. But there you go. I mean, when I first tried All-Star aerial without boost jumping, you know, before I had started flying backwards, I couldn't hit that ball. And if I did hit it, it was nowhere near goal. So let's do a backwards one this time. Yeah, I messed that up. So hold boost while I air roll. Otherwise you're not going to get up in time. So I'll try it again. Sometimes it helps to go turn the other way. That was a bad hit though. Still not the greatest at back aerials when the ball's moving. But I'm getting decent. Use the arrow to land, make sure my car lands in a good spot, and get a shot on goal. So, do the backward aerial, get used to it. You're gonna struggle, but unless I'm just weird, it really helped my forward aerial. So let's just try one last forward aerial. Kind of prove that I am decent at them. You know, it wasn't the greatest, but it was on target. So, last thing, and you might have already noticed, I go and do these. I'm not just going to be like, I hit the ball crappy, reset. I take advantage of every shot. So, say I hit that one off to the side. Now I turn off the ball cam, go into dribble mode. Didn't work there, but I try to take advantage of every shot, get some sort of practice out of every shot. Alright, land, face the right way, turn off ball cam, see if we can, nope. Not any success right there, but, and I was off target for that one, but pulled it back in, turned off the ball cam, put it in. So, I'm trying every shot to learn something, to get better at something. This is a low shooting one. So I could be like, I missed. Turn, reset, but no, I'm gonna try to do a dribble. Didn't get it, but I, tried. That's how you get better. This isn't just aerial hit practice, this is boost jumping practice. This is rebound practice. Look at that. That's about as close as you can get. So take advantage of every one and say, alright, I'm going to fly backwards this time. Nope. So I messed up. So now I'm going to practice. And, I didn't hit it, but again, I'm trying every time to do something. Miss that. Work on your landings. That's pretty important, actually. Work on your dribbling. There you go. Getting good dribble practice right there. Flick practice it, So don't just get frustrated. Don't reset every shot. Take advantage of every shot. Try to learn something, try to practice something in every one. That is my biggest advice, because you're getting so much more. So focus on, just to reiterate, figure out what you want to work on. Pick a couple of those things, focus on them. If you're not into dribbling, or if you haven't really messed with dribbling, I would recommend starting there. You know, do what I said, create a couple easy shots, just practice them as much as you know, try to practice them. I try to do them before every time I play a match. I try to practice something, whether it's aerials. So now I got dribbling down pretty good. Still, my aerials are good, but I want them to get better. For me, next step is redirects, which Garrett G had a good one in the consistency pack. Redirects and off the wall, aerial off the wall. So that, for me, this one was very challenging. I'm teaching myself to hit the ball off the wall, and I still got a lot of work to go. So this is what I'm working on. I do this, and then, like I said, I never waste a shot. I try to take advantage. And right there, I know there's nothing left I can do. So, but working on these, and it's slow going. So you get to see some early, you know, before I've gotten good at something. This is what it looks like. Mess that up, but recovered. Work on the shot still. So that's just my advice. Hopefully it can save you. I wasted probably 10 hours of training trying to do everything at once. I watched a video, and he's like, go into free play, fly your car around the ball, try to fly your ball or car around the ball with free cam on, or ball cam on. You know, do this for 5 minutes. And I'm like, I can't do it. I couldn't do it. So flying backwards at the ball in the standard aerial training actually did way more to help me than just trying to do this cold. And then it's like turn ball cam off and fly around the boost pads. You know, and it's like, how do I know I'm better now? Because I chose to fly. I watched one video about flying backwards. That helped me way more than trying to do this cold with no other practice. You know, try it with air roll on. Still can't control my car with air roll, holding air roll the whole time. Haven't figured that out, and then it was like, you know, try dribbling and this and this. It was just too much. It's too much to try to learn at once, and it was just, nothing was helping. That's my slow ground pinch. So, long story short, hopefully this helped you save some time. If you want to get better, you're stuck at silver like I was, you're stuck at gold, you know, you're not winning consistently, which I still am not winning consistently, but figure out what you want to get better at, focus on that. Every time before you play, go ahead and do those trainings, do the dribbling, run through a dribbling practice, run through the aerial, whether you're up to pro or all-star, do that at least once, and then go to free play for 5 minutes, just hit the ball around and then start a match. That's probably my biggest advice, and hopefully this helped you. And yeah, so thanks for watching. Let me know in the comments where you're at skill-wise, where you're at hours-wise, and if you have any questions, feel free to ask. So I got to close this, and then I'll stop the recording. But again, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.